Okay, guys, today we'll work on for all entries. For all entries in select statements. Till now, we have created a program to create or to write select statements on how many tables?
Up to two.
Two tables.
Yeah, two tables.
Good.
What is the relation between two tables? So we have selected employee master data and salary data. That means salary data is related with employee master data or not?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir. It's
That is related. But tell me, which one is the primary data and which one is the secondary data?
master table data is different.
Master data is in the header level, salary data is in item level, right? Based on the header data, we are selecting salary data, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
But what is the input we are passing in where condition?
Common employee based on employee ID.
Based on employee ID, we are selecting, right? Because employee ID is available in both internal tables, right? Now let's say we need to select data by department. We need to select data by department. We do not have department ID in the header data. We do not have department ID in the salary data. What we need to do here? First, we need to select department's data and corresponding employee IDs of each department. We need to use only those employee IDs to select the salary data. Yes or no? For example, we need to select data by departments. So the department data will be like this. So one table contains department ID, employee ID, or let me do it like this. Let me make it as a master data table. Employee ID, name, city, and the other table contains employee ID, department. The other table contains now if I need to select data by employee ID, how can I write the select statement? If I need to select data by employee ID, how can I write the select? If there is a parameter in the selection screen that is only employee ID, how can I write the select statement?
Select employee ID from
Where empid equal to or in so underscore emp id. This is how we can write select statement for master data. What about this one? To select data from employee department data. What is the where condition we need to use here to select the data? Same, right? Because employee ID is there in this table, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
What about third table?
Same.
Same. Because that employee ID field is available in all the tables. When this is possible? When our selection screen input is which one?
Employee.
Employee ID. Let's assume my selection screen input is not employee ID, but I am filtering the data by department ID. Can we write same where conditions for all the tables?
No.
Or
No, sir.
can we use this kind of where condition?
No.
No, sir.
Can we write where condition like this where dept id equal to sodept id? Can we write like this on employee master table?
No, sir.
No.
Because there is no such column in employee master table called department ID. Department ID is only in the second table. But what is our requirement? We need to select data by which one?
Department.
Department. So we can only apply where condition using department on this table. What about the rest of the tables? How can we select data from the other two tables? What data you need? The data records of specific employee IDs belongs to a specific department. If I pass department SAP as input, I need to know who are all the employees working in SAP department and their corresponding salary and corresponding name and city. That's what my output requirement. My output is like this. Sorry. My output should be like this. Employee ID, name. My expected output is like this. Department. Maybe I'll add city and salary. Right? My expected output is like this. Employee ID and employee name. From which table they are coming from?
Master.
Master data table. Department ID and department ID
From department.
from departments table. City is also from
Master.
department data is from this table. Salary data is from this table. Is everyone clear?
Yes, sir.
Since our input is department ID, we need to pass what table we need to select first.
Adaptable.
Department.
Which one?
Specific department. So we need to go with department.
Our input is department ID. Now, on which table we need to write the first select statement?
Department.
Department ID. Department.
Yes, department data table. Second, then we get our employee ID. right? From second table, we are getting our employees of that specific department. Then what should be the second select statement?
Master data.
Master data or salary data, because both contains employee ID, right? You can either select a master data or department data because both contain same field, employee ID as a field. Okay, but in some cases we get employee ID information in the second table, and to know their corresponding address we may need to go for some other table. At the time we cannot use employee ID, right? So then we need to check the order. Now, since we cannot use where condition on internal table, sorry, table 2 and table 3, how can we select the data? How can we say in the select statement that I need only specific records, I need only salary data of only these list of employee IDs? How can we say that? If you have employee ID in the selection screen input, we just pass in the where condition. But what is our scenario here? First we are
Specific.
selecting data from department data. In the first select statement, we are getting the list of employees working in a specific department. Now, I need the salary data of those employees which are selected in the first select statement. That means, first select statement internal table is your input. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
But we cannot pass internal table like this. EMP ID equal to IT DEPT hyphen EMP ID. We cannot pass input like this. We cannot pass internal table data as input like this in the where condition. It won't allow you. We can pass variable, we can pass parameter, we can pass select option, but we cannot pass internal table as a direct input in the where condition. Okay. So how can we achieve this scenario? For
Using
that,
for
we
all.
use a concept called for all entries. For all entries, what is the use of for all entries? It will select corresponding data of first internal table in the item level data. Okay, let's say you have list of records in an internal table. You need to use that internal table as an input to select the next level item data. In this scenario, what is the option you need to use? Okay, for all entries. Okay,
Sir, please do re-explain it.
sorry,
Do re-explain it once again.
which one?
For all in
For all entries.
Okay, yeah. So now observe these three tables example. What is our selection screen input?
department.
Input is DEPT ID. That is what the input we have. Based on the department ID, we need to select data of employee salary.
Salary.
Okay, who are all the employees getting salary in a specific department? Now, by using department ID, can you select data from all these three tables by using this input?
No, sir.
Because department ID is not there in first table and third table. That is available only in third table. Second table. In this case, what you need to do? First, select department data from second table. Now, what you have in the internal table? Now you have department and corresponding employees list. Yes or no? After first select statement execution.
Yes.
Now we need to use that internal table as input to select the employee master data and employee salary data, because these two tables contains those data, right? Based on employee ID. Employee ID is the employee. We don't have department ID in the other two tables. We cannot use department ID as input. So now we need to use that first internal table as input to select the employee master data and the employee salary data. But we cannot directly pass internal table as input in the where condition. You cannot pass complete internal table data as input in the where condition, right? To achieve that, we have a special statement that is called for all entries. What does this for all entries used for? To select the data from database tables based on the internal table data. For example, I have list of employees in an internal table. I need to select salary data for those list of records from the internal table. So we need to use internal table data as input. In that case, we cannot pass directly internal table in the where condition. So we need to achieve that by using for all entries. Okay.
Okay.
So it is used to select the data from
So previously we used work area and specific fields, right?
hmm,
So this is directly from internal table only using for
yeah,
all
we are
entries.
we are see we are not using single employee as in we want data for list of employees, maybe 1 lakh employees data. So we need to pass the complete data as input,
Okay.
not one by one. Okay. So we can achieve same scenario using select single. I'll show you that later. But we need to write select statement within the loop. That should not be, that is not recommended. Writing select statements within the loop. So, right, to avoid that, use for all entries concept. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. It is used to select the data from database table using internal table data as input. Okay. Now, can we apply for all entries directly? No. There are rules to use for all entries. Very important interview question. Very important interview question. What are the prerequisites or rules to apply for all entries concept? Rule number one, header internal table should not be empty. Okay. Header internal table you should not pass empty internal table without any records in the where condition using for all entries. Okay, that is rule number one. Header internal table records should be in sorted order. Sorted order means either ascending or descending by column, common field, common field of the internal table 1 and internal table 2. Okay, that by either ascending or descending should be in sorted order. Okay. Okay. Third rule, no duplicate records allowed. That means for each employee ID there should be only one record in the header internal table when you need to pass it to for all entries. Okay, you should not pass duplicate records, means multiple records with the same employee ID in this scenario, right? You need to remove duplicates. Okay, we need to remove duplicates before passing it to for all entries. Fourth rule, value. Value of the field in the internal table should not be blank. For example, what is the input you are passing to the item level data here? Department and employee ID internal table, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
What is the common field between internal table, sorry, employee master data and department data? Employee ID, right?
Yes.
This employee ID field should not be blank. Okay? There should be a value in that internal table. You should not pass internal table with blank values for employee ID because the employee ID is the common field. Okay? Now tell me, if you select department data and employee ID data, is there any possibility of selecting multiple records of each employee ID when you are selecting data from department and employee ID data? There is a possibility, right?
Yes.
There might be some employees who are working in multiple departments, right? But if you select by department, is there any chance of selecting multiple employees from the same with the same ID, multiple records with the same ID?
No, sir.
No, no, right? If in the same department, there is only one entry for each employee, right? If you are selecting data by multiple departments, if you are selecting data by one department, there is no chance of getting duplicate employee IDs. But if you are selecting data by multiple departments, then there is a chance, right?
Yes.
One employee might be available in multiple departments. That means you can find the duplicate records for employee ID. So before passing it to for all entries, you need to make sure you have removed those duplicate records. Okay. So these are the prerequisites you should follow before going to use for all entries. Is everyone clear?
Yes.
Now, is everyone clear on this concept?
Yes.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
let's go back to our yesterday's program. Guys, very important. Please pay attention. Oh, not this one.
So in the prerequisites, first point you mentioned header table.
Should not be empty. So you're trying to select department data. You're passing one department, but there is no entry for the department in the table. You're not going to get any records, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Then you should not pass this empty internal table in the for all entries to select the second and third level data.
Okay.
Okay. What will happen if you pass? That's a very important interview question. Actually, thank you for reminding one important point. What will happen? We are talking about the rules. What will happen if you break the rules?
Okay. Okay.
So, what will happen if you break the rules? It will
In select.
ignore the where condition. It will ignore the where condition and try to select all the records from the table. It won't consider your input, right? It will try to select all the records from the table. Then what will happen if you try to select all unnecessary data?
Performance degradation.
Performance issues. That's why before using for all entries, you should follow all these rules. Here,
Okay.
now what is the, yeah, multiple tables. I think this is the program what we created yesterday. What is our requirement here? We are selecting date of join and employee ID as input to select the employee salary data. Since we have employee ID here, so what did we do? We are passing employee ID in the both where conditions, right? Let me remove employee ID in the selection screen. Assume only date of join available in the selection screen as input. We'll comment this date of join logic. Sorry, employee ID logic. Now, can we use employee ID in the where condition of first select statement? No, right? Because you're not using that input. Remove it. Can we use date of join in the second select statement where we are selecting salary data?
No,
Can we
sir.
use same where condition? No, right? Because we do not have date of join in the salary data. We have only employee ID. Now, what is our requirement? Select employees by date of join. Now we have data in one internal table. IT employee, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
We need to pass, we need to select corresponding data of this internal table from salary data. For that, what we need to do? Here, what is the input? Select option, parameter, constant. What is the input here?
D1.
Internal table is the input for us now to select the salary data. Now, can we pass it like this?
No.
No, we cannot pass it. It won't allow. It won't allow you to do it, right?
Yes.
Employee ID, sorry. What is saying? It is unknown. Internal table hyphen employee ID is unknown. So it's not possible. Now, what we need to do to select it? We need to apply which statement
For all entries.
to pass internal table data as input. What is the statement we need to apply? For
For all
all
entries.
entries in, for all the records in which table?
Internal IT employee.
Header
EMP
internal
data.
table. What is our header internal table here? First level
IT
IT
data what we selected. IT underscore EMP
data.
data. Now check. Need to use escape symbol because we are using new ABAP syntax. Error is gone, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is how you need to use a for all entry statement to select the corresponding data from a header internal table in the item level data. Now which one is the header data, which one is the item data here? When you are using for all entries concept. Header
internal
data,
data.
this is item
Item.
level data. Okay, clear?
Yes.
Now is it recommended way of using for all entries?
No duplicates and no.
Sorted order we will see.
Yes.
We are not following, we are not checking the rules, right? We don't know whether we are following the rules or not. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
You need to check the rules first before executing for all entries. Rule 1. What is rule 1?
Header table should not be empty.
Should not be empty. How can you make sure the header internal table is not empty?
If sub-RC,
Sub RC 0 means select statement is successfully executed.
Successfully.
We were able to select at least one record.
one record.
Yes or no? That is correct, right? Rule 1. We are following it, right, already? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
What is the second rule?
Sort
Records should be
empty
in
data.
sorted order. We use a syntax called sort to sort the internal table records. What do you mean by sorting?
Filter.
In some order,
To
like
maintain the
by
order, right? For example, let me show you here. See, I know like most of you know this, but let me 100, 105, 102, 106, 101. It contains this internal table contains employee ID and name. Okay. Now, what is the common field between our header? Let's assume this is our header data. Header data and item level data, employee ID, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, tell me, is this in the sorted order?
No, sir. Unsorted.
Check always by the column what you are using to select the data. Not don't check the other columns whether it is in sorted order or not. Only check by the column whatever you are using in the for all entries where condition. We are using employee ID only, right? Is it in the sorted order? No. So what
No,
you
sir.
need to do? You need to sort the internal table. You need to sort the internal table to make sure it is in sorted order. Now it is in sorted order, right?
Yes, sir.
So what is the statement we use?
Sort.
Sort statement to sort the internal table. To change the order of the internal table by any specific column. We can sort it by ascending or descending. You know, right? What is ascending or descending?
Yes, sir.
Lower to upper or upper to lower. Sort the internal table based on which column we need to sort.
By employee ID.
By, you need to use by employee ID. Am I specifying the order ascending or descending?
No, sir.
By default, which order?
Ascending order.
Ascending order. If you want descending order, mention it like this. Descending. Okay. You need to mention it. If you want descending order. But by default, which order?
Ascending order.
Ascending order. So you can sort one column by ascending and another column by descending. That is also possible like this. You can sort by multiple fields also. Name or city. I'll take city. City. You can sort internal table by multiple columns also. One column ascending and one column descending. That is also possible. Okay. But now tell me, can we sort? Can we use city here?
No.
No,
no,
because check what is the common field between header table and item field. Employee ID only, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, sorted by only employee ID. Hmm. Rule 2 is completed, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, what is third rule?
eliminate duplicates.
No
No
duplicates are allowed.
duplicates allowed. By which column?
By
Employee.
EMPID.
Department.
For example, this is our header table. It contains data like this. Chennai, Hyderabad, Hyderabad, Hyderabad. Now tell me, is there any duplicate records here? In
No,
this
sir.
internal table, is there any duplicate record?
No, sir.
No, sir.
City field.
Now tell me, is there any duplicate record here?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Which one?
101.
101 employee.
But city is different, right?
Yes, sir.
Is it a duplicate record?
No.
No.
Don't confuse. What is the column we are using in the where condition? What is the common field between header and item level data?
Employee
Employee.
ID.
Employee ID, right?
Yes, sir.
Based on condition. It's duplicate.
Consider only employee ID. When you are passing it to for all entries, is it duplicate or not?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
It's duplicate.
Yes, it is duplicate. So you need to remove duplicate record before passing it to for all entries. But don't lose the data. What you need to use it in the output. This validation only specific to for all entries. So in this case, we have to use one temporary internal table. Don't delete data from the actual internal table. Delete from which table? A temporary internal table. Move your data from actual internal table to which one?
Temporary.
Temporary internal table and delete the records, because in the final output you may need to display duplicate records data also, because employee from different cities you may need to display, right? Don't delete from the actual internal tables. Now for now just write delete. What we need to delete? All the records
No, sir. Comparing
or any
employee ID.
specific employee ID records?
Records which are
Duplicate
Recognized record.
employee ID records. We need to delete duplicate employee ID records. How can you delete it? How can you identify the duplicate records? You applied sort, right?
Yes, sir.
Once the sort statement is applied, what will happen? Records will be arranged into this order. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now, system will how the system can identify duplicate record? If there is any value one after the another, it will consider it as a which record?
duplicate.
Duplicate record. That. So, what is the prerequisite to use removing duplicate records? Sort. You
Sort.
need to sort the table before identifying the duplicates. How to identify the duplicate records? Delete adjacent duplicates. Delete adjacent duplicates side by one after the another. If there is any record with the same value, delete them. Which record it's going to delete? It's going to keep the first available record and delete the other records. Here in this case, it will keep the first record and remove rest of the duplicate records. Okay. From which table? From internal table. I am applying this on the actual internal table. Is this recommended?
No,
No,
to
sir.
create temporary.
Because we are going to lose the data which we need to display in the output. But these validations are specific to for all entries, not for the output. So, right? We'll see that later how we mitigate it. So delete adjacent duplicates from internal table. Based on what we need to identify the duplicates.
Employee ID.
Comparing all fields. This is possible. But if you compare all fields, now tell me, is there a duplicate record if you compare all fields?
No, sir.
Yes.
No, because city is different, right? There is no
Yes, sir.
duplicate. If you compare all three fields, there is no duplicate record.
Yes.
Yes or no? But if you compare only employee ID,
It is a duplicate.
It's duplicate.
there is a duplicate record. Now, don't use compare all field. Comparing which field?
Employee ID.
Employee ID. Whatever the sort condition you are doing here, use same columns in the duplicate check also. Okay? Clear? Is everyone clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Rule 3 also completed. What is rule 4? For example, record should not be like this. Rule 3 also completed. Record should not be like this with the blank employee ID value. We have value for name and city, but there is no value for ID. That is blank. That column is blank for some reason. Should we pass this in the input?
No.
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 We should remove. How to remove? Again, delete. Hmm. Hmm. What we need to remove?
Blank.
Blank values.
Empty blank.
Where employee ID is which one?
Null.
Empty.
Initial.
Initial.
Okay. Is initial. What are we saying here? Remove records with the blank value. So it's going to be removed. Okay. Clear?
Sir, it means that we can use this for non-primary key fields as well, right?
What is the common field between your header table and item table? Just consider that.
Oh,
Okay. Apply on those columns. For example, first in the first and second table, city is the common field, but city is not a primary key. You need to apply same for all entries conditions on the city because the only common field between first table and second table is city. You need to apply all the checks on city. Okay.
okay.
Now all 4 rules are completed, right?
Sir, in the third prerequisites, we didn't create a temporary.
I'll show you that. I'll show you how to replace it with temporary. But let's first check the rules. Now you are sorting it, deleting adjacent duplicates, and deleting records with the blank columns. Yes or no? For example, in some cases, there is no value for employee ID in all the records. Then what will happen if you apply 4th rule? Is going to remove all the records or not?
Yes.
Yes.
It's going to remove all the records because there is no value for employee ID in those records. In that case, can we execute this select statement using for all entries? Can we pass empty internal table to this select statement?
No.
No.
No, right? You are checking here whether it is empty or not. There are records, but those records does not contain any value for employee ID, and we are deleting records without employee ID. Now, what about the internal table, header internal table? Do we have any records available in it?
No data.
No data. Can we pass empty internal table to the for all entries?
No.
No.
No. Again, what you need to do here? Again, rule 1. Yes or no?
Yes.
You need to check rule 1. How can you check now? Because since we are using sub-RC, since we are using select statement, we are using sub-RC check here. Because after execution of the select statement, it will update the sub-RC 0 or 4. But now here, we cannot check by sub-RC value whether there is a record in the internal table or not. Right? How can you check that? If IT emp data is
Initial.
Initial.
initial means it is empty. If it is empty, we should not execute it, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
What is our requirement? There should be at least one record. is not
Not initial.
initial, it is not blank, then execute the select statement. Clear? Is everyone clear?
Okay.
If you are not doing this rule number 4, is there any dependency of rule number 1 again?
Not at all.
No.
No. Since we are deleting records with the blank values, it's very rare case, but we need to make sure, right? We are following it, right? We are applying it. And again, we are checking after applying all these conditions, is there any record available in it or not? Okay. Looks like someone changed everything into uppercase. So pretty printer, I'll show you one quick thing. Pretty printer to format the text, okay? It will align in a proper order. Okay, let me finish this. Okay, now we are following all the for all entries conditions, right?
Yes.
Yes or no? We are following, right? We are making sure there is at least one record. We are sorting it, deleting the duplicates, and removing blank values. Yes or no?
Yes.
We
So
are following it, right? And we are using that header internal table in the for all entries and passing it in the where condition. We are following, right? All the for all entries condition. This is correct. Now, what I told you, do not apply this on the actual internal table. Now, tell me, is there a chance of duplicate records in the employee master data?
master data.
No, sir.
In this data, there is no chance of, because employee ID is the primary key here in this table,
Yes, sir.
right? There is no chance of duplicate records. You do not need to use sort and delete adjacent. In the first place, since employee ID is the primary key, it won't allow you any blank values. This is also not necessary. In case of this scenario, since employee ID is the primary key, but you have to do your checks, even though it is necessary or not, do all the checks. For example, we are taking city. In this case, sort is mandatory because there is a chance of multiple city records for different employees. Sorry, yeah, same city for multiple employees. In this case, you need to check the duplicates and you need to remove records with same city. For example, your data is like this. City is the common field between both tables, and if you remove duplicates, how many records going to be available? Only 2 records, right? What about the rest of the employee IDs? You need to select employee salary data by city, but you are for the for all entries conditions, you are deleting all the data from actual internal table. Can we use the rest of employee salary data in the output? No, right? Because you are deleting for all entries check. So how can you avoid it? Losing data? Use a temporary internal table only for all entries. How can you create temporary internal table? Define one internal table, same like this, same with this structure, or use a which one?
Inline
Inline
declaration.
declaration. How to use inline declaration to define the internal table and pass the data
Data.
of it emp data underscore assign some name temp,
EMP.
okay, any meaningful name equal to,
LT.
okay. Now instead of this table, actual internal table, replace in the delete adjacent with temporary internal table and deleting data from temporary internal table. What is the internal table we need to use in for all entries?
Temporary interval.
Temporary internal table only. In the where condition also, Past temporary internal table. We are doing this only for all entries. Just make sure not to lose the data. Okay? Is everyone clear? Is everyone clear?
Yes.
Yes.
This is how we write this for all entries. This for all entries will continue for multiple tables. Third for all entries, fourth for all entries, fifth for all entries to select data from multiple tables, corresponding data from multiple tables. In the third table, common field might be different. Okay, common field might be different. You need to follow all the rules before applying for all entries on third table. But field might be different. Okay, rules are same.
Same.
Okay, for each select statement before applying for all entries, you need to do these validations. Okay, clear? Is everyone clear? Now execute the program. Loop merging yesterday's last session logic only. How to merge multiple internal tables. I'm not changing anything. Execute. We got the same output. Yes or no? Here we are selecting by date of join and using that employees based on this date of join in the item level data as input. So here we are passing internal table data as input. Is everyone clear? Is everyone clear? Now, yesterday we are using loop statement to merge, right? Loop
Yes, sir.
within the loop. Actually, this is not necessary. Now tell me how many records you can find for each employee in employee master data. Only one record, right?
Yes.
For each employee. So in this case, loop is not necessary. So yeah, why are we using temporary table? If you delete duplicates or if you delete empty values here on the actual internal table, you are going to lose the data here. You cannot find corresponding values when you are looping the data to merge the internal tables, right? So that's why we are not going to delete the actual internal table.
Just to avoid
Hmm.
original data deletion.
Just only for the for all entries, we are using a temporary table and keeping actual data as it is. Okay. Now, we do not need loop statement here because what is the relation for this employee master data internal table? When you compare with the employee ID, one to one only, right? For each employee ID, you can find only one record. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
What is the
Yes.
property of loop statement? It will loop multiple records one by one. But we do not have multiple records for each employee ID, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
To read or to get only single record from internal table to work area, we can use a read statement instead of loop statement. When we need to process only one single record from internal table to work area, what is the statement we can use? Read
Read the
into
Read.
rest of this is common from internal table into work area. You can use inline declarations in read statement. Which record you need to read? What is that one record you wanted to read?
employee ID.
Every time, first record, first employee ID. How to pass it? With key. We do not pass where conditions in read statement. With the key. What is the key? Employee
Employee
ID
ID.
equal to which employee ID you need to pass? The employee ID which we are looping here. Okay? Work area hyphen employee ID. Is everyone clear? I'm saying that read statement is going to read only one single record, right?
Yes, sir.
Do we have
Yes.
only one single employee data? There are multiple employees, right?
Yes,
But
sir.
is it going to handle that? Is it going to populate data for multiple employee records?
No, sir.
Since
No.
read statement is to to read only one record from internal table to work area. That is true, it's going to read only one record. But where are we calling this read statement? Inside the loop, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Whatever the statements you keep inside the loop, they'll also repeat. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
For each record, this read statement is also going to be repeated. For each employee, this read statement is also going to be repeated. Okay?
Just
Once the
like
read,
loop,
sorry,
it will, as you said, it will just like act as loop.
no, it won't act as loop. Inside the loop, we are calling the read statement. It won't act like this. It won't repeat this records for multiple times. It won't repeat employee master data records for multiple times. But here, it's going to be repeated
Okay,
for multiple times. We stopped it by using where
where?
condition,
Okay,
right? We control that behavior by using where condition to loop only one specific record, right? But the main property of the loop statement itself is looping multiple records, yes or no?
okay, yeah,
That's not necessary here because we're going to get only one record from each employee. If sy hyphen sub r is equal to 0, that means if the read statement is successful, then populate the data. How many times this read statement going to be executed for each program execution? Depends on number of records in the salary internal table. Yes or no? First time, first record will be passed here. Second time, second record will be passed here. Let me keep a breakpoint and show you how this will work. Keep a breakpoint at loop statement. Right? We have selected data from header table and salary data. Okay. Now, to merge the data, we are looping the internal table. So, for each employee ID, we can find multiple records in salary data, right? For each employee ID. For example, if you take this, employee IDs are repeating for the same employee ID. That means 1 to n relation, right? That's why we are looping salary data. F5, first record is looping. Tabix value is to know the record position. Now we are passing that employee ID as input to the read condition, read statement. Now data will be placed from internal table to work area. First record 100, sub RC 0, adding it to the internal table using append statement. Second time, second record is looping here. That means 101. We are passing that 101 to which one? Read statement. It's going to read that one single record from internal table to work area and keep that in the work area. Right? Third time, third record. So how many times this process will continue? For 11 times because there are 11 records in the internal table. Read statement is successful, appending internal table. Read statement is successful, appending internal table. So these are called nested loops. If we call loops within the loop, what do we call? Nested loops. Okay. So how to avoid nested loops? We can use for all entries to avoid the nested loops. Otherwise, instead of this read statement, right? To get the employee master data, what you need to write? Select single statement. Okay. You need to write select single statement within the loop. If you do not use for all entries. Okay. Let me show you that quickly. If you do not use for all entries concept, right? How can you populate master data? Let's say you cannot use for all entries. You need to write instead of read statement, right? What you need to write? Select single empid, comma, salary from salary table into work area. Define one work area using where employee ID equal to which one? This one. We need to write select statement like this. If you are not able to use for all entries to select the header level data for each employee ID, we need to write a select statement like this. Okay? Is it recommended to write select statements within the loop?
No.
Loss, sir.
No, because it will cause performance issues. For each select statement, it has to connect with the database and select the data and populate the entries. It is not recommended. That's why we keep select statements out of the loop. How can we keep select statements out of the loop? By using for all entries, selecting corresponding data out of the loop, right? Here itself. And we are using internal table here. We are not using database table, right? Here we are reading data from internal table, not the database table. Yes or no? By using read or loop statements, are we reading data from database tables?
Internal table.
No, internal tables. We are not connecting with the database. Connecting with the database always consume time, cause performance issues. Okay? Is everyone clear? So this is how we can replace that select single statement within the loop using for all entries. Okay? Is everyone clear?
So read table means it will write the data. Right?
Yeah, from internal table to work area. One single record. It will select one single record. Whatever the condition you are passing here, it will select that exact record and keep it into the work area for only one time. Since we are using this within the loop, this read statement also loops with this header loop. It will also repeat for each employee ID. Okay?
Okay.
Every time we are going to pass one new employee ID, selecting corresponding data. Okay? Is everyone clear? Always clear the work areas within the loop, right? Always please make sure to clear the data within the work area. What is the statement we can use to clear the data within the work area?
Clear statement.
Why we need to clear it? Are we keeping same data in every loop run in the work area? No, right?
No, sir. No, sir.
Every time first record, second record, we are going to keep in the work area. So before keeping the second record into work area, clear it, all the work areas. Don't clear the internal table. You're going to lose the data. Sometimes we do that. W underscore MP data. Clear the work areas. After processing the first record, it will clear the data and proceed with the second record. And again, it will clear the data and again proceed with the third record. That process will continue for the all records of the header internal table. Okay? Header in the sense, whatever the internal table we are looping. Is everyone clear? Execute. Right, every time it's going to place new record into final output and clear the work area and do the process for all the records. Prerequisites are very important, and immediately they'll ask what happens if you do not follow. What happens?
No.
We'll select all that.
Yes, I'm saying that, but I'm not sure. Let me try that. Clear. Which one? Temporary internal table. I'll clear here because we are checking the condition, right? I'll clear after the condition. We are bypassing the condition again. Sorry, we should use this one. Okay, After checking it, again we are clearing it. Now are we going to have any records in it?
No.
Just to make sure what will happen. So how many records are there in the temporary internal table? 7
7 records.
records. F5. Next is clear statement, clearing the data. How many records are there?
0.
0
2.
records. Now F5. How many records it selected?
11 records.
Did we pass any data in the where condition? It is blank, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
How many records are there? What are the total records available in salary data?
11 records.
Number of entries. There are total 11 records. So it is not filtering the data. It is selecting all the records available from item level data. Yes or no? Even though we are not passing any input. This is blank. Yes or no?
Yes.
So it's going to ignore this where condition and select all the data from item level tables. Okay. Is everyone clear?
Sir.
Removing this. Okay.